Hey friends, I'm back today with a video on a brand that I have not talked about in some time. This palette I have used a few times and not done a video on, and now's the time to share it with you guys. So this is long overdue, and I hope that even one person is still remotely interested in seeing it. But the palette that I'm talking about today, and I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, I can already sense it, is either the Hela or the Hela, I don't know which it is. And this is the collaboration with Oden's Eye Cosmetics and Angelica Nyquist, which I may also be pronouncing incorrectly, and I am so sorry. It is just not my forte. I apologize. Like, if I practice something phonetically enough, then I seem to get it okay, but names are hard for me. So this is what the palette looks like, and I love the packaging. I don't like it, I love it. This is, oh my gosh, the artwork on this is incredible. Like, whoever did this, I would love to have something drawn up for my house. I'm just saying. Oden's Eye seems to nail packaging, and I think that they definitely paid her tribute in a beautiful way. The backside just has the shade names and a little bit more of the artwork. This is a cruelty-free palette, and it was $43.90. It shipped extremely quickly, and you cannot be disappointed by the way that they do things at Oden's Eye. They're definitely good. So, when you get the palette, this is the colors on the inside. And if you know me, you already knew that I was going to be happy with this palette just for the top half of it, but I've got to say the whole thing works phenomenally. I really like their formulations. I feel like their mattes are really easy to use. They work well together. The metallics and multi-chrome and duochrome shades are just beautiful. They kind of remind me in texture a little bit, but not 100% of like, a little bit like Lunar Beauty, a little bit like It's Belle Cosmetics, somewhere in between that realm. Even a little bit like Glam Light. The other thing I didn't show you was the box, which is just slightly different from the front. This is actually in like a grayscale. Still really, really cool. I did get, I've had it in this drawer forever. I did get the little headscarf that came with it. I probably will not use it truthfully, but I do think it's kind of cool. I definitely feel like if this is a color store you are drawn to, you will not be let down by the performance that is within this. And I really enjoyed it. Two more things before the swatches. This is the second look I did with this palette. I don't typically wear eye bases, though I used to do that a lot. Both the looks that I did with this palette, I did not use it for. And I will say that I found the greens a little bit harder to work with. The other two things I want to talk about, you're actually going to see me doing a talk through while I put this on my face, is Merit actually sent me two of their products to give a shot and to show you guys. And it's not sponsored by any means, but they did send them to me. So this is the packaging that both of the items come in. I like it in its simplicity. I think they do a really nice job, and they let the products speak for themselves. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the brush number 1, and this is their blending brush. I was truly surprised by this. Not that I don't have a few brushes that I do use occasionally, but most of the time I'm a beauty blender type of person. This right here is the brush that I got from them, and I do surprisingly like it. And I will say that if you have pretty clear skin, this might be a really nice choice, because really with the foundation, doing it on a lighter scale, this really looks natural, and it doesn't look like you're wearing anything, which is really nice. Now, this is a little bit looser than I thought it was going to be. It seems like it would be pretty dense, but honestly, it still does a great job, and it is very soft, so I think they did a nice job with this brush. The other item that they sent me is called the Minimalist, and this is great because they actually doubled the amount of product that goes inside of it and kept the cost the exact same. So this is still $38, and the brush is $30. I got this in the shade Silk, and I was really impressed with this. This is kind of like a foundation and a concealer in one, and it's great. And I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts. So when you apply it with the brush, which is what I did on this side, it's more of a natural finish. So it looks more like skin. Now I did kind of go back and improve upon some areas because I personally like a little bit more coverage. And I will say that it layers really, really well, which is nice. So this is definitely more natural. And I do have a really gnarly zit that I picked at. You'll see it. It looks terrible. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. With that being said, when I applied it with my beauty sponge, it was flawless. Like this side of my face, minus my blush, which I kind of jacked up. Let's just ignore that. I feel looks really, really beautiful. And I don't have good skin. You're going to see it. When you guys see me without makeup, you're going to go, ooh, okay, girl, your skin is not nice. I have rosacea. I have dry skin. I have aging skin. I have hyperpigmentation. I have acne. I have scarring. I have a lot of problems with my skin. So for my skin to end up turning out this nice is kind of surprising to me. I actually really like this. I think that this was I think they've done a really good job with it. And I was really excited that they sent it to me and that now I can kind of tell you guys about it. I will say if you have more oily skin, I think that you will want to either set it with something kind of matte or definitely set it with a powder. I did not set my face with a powder, so I am a little bit more shiny, and I went a little ham on my highlight, so that's not really the foundation. Down here is a pretty accurate view of what it looks like on somebody with dry skin. So if you do want a little bit less dewy, I would look into that. However, I'm really happy with it. I think it's done really nice things for my skin. My eye area looks surprisingly good, and I have a lot of texture there. So if you guys have been curious about this brand and saw this product and weren't sure what you thought about it, it is definitely worth checking out. But in any case, I really wanted to share it with you guys. I will have a link down below where you can pick this up. And if you use the link, it does send me a small commission. So that's just being transparent with you guys. Now, like I said, I'm not technically affiliated, but I have a commission link. Hopefully that makes sense because I'm still having a hard time with it. In any case, I'm going to do some swatches and then I'm going to do this whole face of makeup so you can kind of see what I was talking about. Then I'm going to do this eyeshadow, another eyeshadow look, and I'll be back at the very end with my final thoughts. Alright, it's been a really long time since I've done a talk through application and I'm kind of feeling a little intimidated by it. This is me without any makeup on. I know it is a little scary, but that's okay. I have rosacea. I definitely have some skin issues. I've broken a lot of blood vessels in my face. I used to rub the shit out of my face, which is really bad for it. Also, I'm broken out right here, and I do have a lot of acne scarring and just general redness. So, I do also have dry skin and kind of sensitive skin. So those are my skin stats before I apply this. I'm going to be using the Merit blending brush as the #1 blending brush, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of a firm, well, it looks like it's densely packed, but it's actually kind of loose and giving, so I'm curious to see what it's going to be like. I do like the kind of tapered slope to it, but typically I am a sponge person. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for one half of my face and see what I think about it. And then depending, I may use just my beauty blender for the other side just to see what I think about it. And then I am going to be using the Minimalist in the shade Silk. This is the one that I thought matched me the best. And this is what it looks like. Now keep in mind this is supposed to act kind of as a foundation and a concealer, but at the end of the day it's supposed to mimic skin. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to turn out on my skin. And I'm kind of debating if I want to just go in and put it on my face or if I want to put it on my tool. So, on my tool. Anyway, I guess I'm just going to throw it on my face and then try and work it out, at least on this side, and see what I think. Let's give that a shot. And I think I'm going to go to the eye area after I kind of work out these areas. Okay, definitely you can see an improvement between the two sides, but I would say this is like a foundation concealer mix that makes your skin look like skin. I apologize, I have a food timer that's going to go off because I have stuff baking, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back from grabbing that, but I've got to say, I think once I do my eye area and like over here I've got a little bit of blemishes, I kind of like the finish. It is very skin-like. That was a great description when I read about that. I actually don't even hate the brush, which is saying something because I'm usually not a face brush person. Like, I'm just not. And typically, I like my brushes a little more densely packed, but this is really nice. And it's soft and it's gentle, and I don't really have any complaints, which is surprising. I really did not think I was going to enjoy this brush, and that's just me being honest. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hit kind of the problem areas that I have with my face on this side real quick, and then I'll come back to talking. Okay, so you saw that I kind of went in with a few different things. I really like this for everywhere but on a blemish. And typically I think if you have a smooth textured blemish, it's not going to make a difference and you'll be fine to use the brush. But I have a very dry, because I'm one of these people, I'm a picker and I picked at it because I'm an idiot. I have a very dry kind of pimple, and you can see it like when I get close, the texture's there and it's gross. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. And when I went in with the soft brush, it seemed to just leave a weird ring around it. Like a ring where it almost didn't cover well. It's not perfect because it's just so raised up. When I use this, I can definitely go in more, but I still don't love the way... I think it's just a zit. It wouldn't matter what foundation I put over it. I don't think that you would miss this zit. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those zits. But I do think the thing I like the best for it was maybe going in with a small, this is actually a pencil brush, I'm pretty sure, but I use it occasionally when I've got really small blemishes to try and kind of chisel into those little areas and make it look a little less noticeable. When you're far away, I definitely don't think you notice it as much, but with this mirror, I can certainly see it. Like here, I've got a smooth zit. So I'm gonna just give it a shot with this. Yeah, way better. This is fine for a smooth zit, but if you've got a very textured dry zit that's like scabby because you're stupid and you pick at it, then this may not be the best tool for it. And okay, so what I'm gonna do in this case, while my hair is stuck in my cleavage, sorry. So what I'm gonna do in this case is I'm actually gonna put the product directly onto the sponge. I don't know if you'd call this a sponge, but onto my beauty blender. And I'm just going to try and kind of coat it fairly well, as I squeeze the life out of it. Okay. And we're going to give this a shot. Although I may go back and change my mind and like put it on my face. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Hang on. I might have gone too gung-ho. This, ooh. Okay. But I like it with a sponge. Or with my beauty blender. I might take this off and just do it with the beauty blender. Okay, as you can see, I kind of started dabbling on to the other side as well. I love it with this. I love it with the beauty blender. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this little area off and I'm going to hit it with this. That's going to look a lot less awkward, but not that I really have anything against this. If you want very natural coverage, let's say that you have just flawless skin, which I absolutely do not, I think that this is fantastic. It's actually a really nice face brush, and I would maybe even consider using it for perfecting after the fact. If you want a little bit more coverage, I definitely think a beauty blender is the way to go, and it looks really nice. Like, it still looks natural, but coverage is really good with that. I like it a lot. So first impression for the Minimalist, I am a big fan. Like this, and especially for travel, this I think would be really, really nice. I really do. My under eyes look really good for me because my under eyes are very dry and textured and just not very good. Let me get up in here. And I mean, I think you guys can probably tell, at least especially side by side, like if you looked at the beginning of when I had no makeup on and when I put this on. my skin looks drastically better. That's all I'm saying. I think that the color is really nice. I am a little red on my chest, but that's because I did get a little bit of sun there. I'm not supposed to be out in the sun on my medication, so unfortunately that does happen. But I think, like, with the skin on my neck and all of that, I think that the color was pretty darn good. But since it is summer, I wanted to go with a slightly deeper tone, and I think that worked out pretty darn well. I like the coverage. I think it is really nice. I think my skin looks pretty good for what it is. My skin is just not the best.
Alright you guys, I'm back and I want to give you my final thoughts. So, the palette that we were talking about today is the either Hela or Hela palette. And I held that upside down, from Oden's Eye Cosmetics in collaboration with Angelica Nyquist, and I absolutely love the packaging. Like, oh, it is gorgeous. This is the outer sleeve, and it's kind of in this grayscale, but I think that the artwork is phenomenal on this. And then when you get the palette out itself, it's in color, and this is what it looks like.
I just feel like if I was ever going to do a palette and I could do something like this, this would be similar to my taste. Maybe not quite the same, but definitely in that same kind of realm. I like this. I like kind of watercolors and oil paints and all kinds of random artsy kind of shit. Also, I'm really obsessed with celestial types of things, so I was kind of really excited about the inclusions that were up here and here. Actually, one of my tattoos is kind of, or was supposed to be a little bit along those lines, but it didn't end up quite like that. It's all right. It wasn't quite what I was intending it to be, but for that reason, I really appreciated the packaging on this. This palette is $43.90. It is cruelty free and it did ship extremely quickly. I really have to say that I think Oden's Eye does a good job, especially for being so far away, because honestly, their shipping is really fast for what they do. And then when you open up the palette, this is the color story on the inside. Again, this mirror up here, like the little details around it, so beautiful. Really think it's gorgeous. But this color story pretty much just sang to my soul, and it was like, you need to buy me, and I was like, you're right, I do. But that's kind of how it went a little bit, I'm just saying. I love it. I think they did a great job picking these colors out. Of course, you know I love kind of yellows and greens. That's like my wheelhouse of things that I love, like deep in my soul. But I did actually really like these shades down here, even though I'm kind of like, I like pinks. I'm wearing them today. But it's not always my favorite, but sometimes it can be. That was the most convoluted thing I've ever said, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. The mattes in here are really easy to use. The metallics and duochromes and multichromes are just so good. I really, really enjoy the formulation. As I said in the beginning, it does remind me a little bit somewhere between like Lunar Beauty and like It's Belle Cosmetics or Indie Beat Cosmetics, any of those kinds of brands. I am not at all let down by this. I think that if you are into this color story at all and you like this artwork or you just want to support Angelica Nyquist, you should definitely pick this up. It is still available. I don't know how long it will be available for, but I really enjoy it. I think that they did a great job, and I really hope that this review was helpful to you guys. If it was, maybe consider subscribing because I would love to have you here, and I hope that everybody is staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!